Hi, welcome to my channel, Claudi's Creations Part 2. My name is Claudie, and today we're going to be doing the Just Our Imagination Challenge with Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe DIYs, Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, and those two are the hosts, and the co-host is Aria from DIY with Aria. Okay. And there's going to be a playlist. Make sure you check everybody out. Enjoy all the videos. There's some really, really good crafters on here. And the challenge is that we must use beads, clay, and a zipper. Let's see what creation I come up with. Are you ready to craft and have some fun? This one's a really good one. I did one DIY, and here we go. Here I am on my desk, and I pull out the foam clay to show you the type of clay that I'm going to be using. And it's kind of like a model magic. It's basically the same thing. I dye a piece like that with the pink parfait, okay, from Apple Barrel. And then I take another ball and dye that. The green is, let's see if I can see it. It's I moved the bottle a lot. It's from Decor. It's dust green or dust green, something like that. I don't have it in front of me right now, but that's the green that I use. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out a little ball here, about the amount that I'm going to need to do the center of a rose. We're going to be making a rose out of this clay, okay? So I'm going to take a portion right now of it to make that. And you're going to see how I do it. I'm going to roll it in a ball. And then I'm going to give it like a shape, like a teardrop kind of shape, but a little bit more like a little bit more rounded on the top than a teardrop. And that's how it looks. See, it looks like an egg almost. And then I flatten the bottom out a little bit and point the top. Now I'm gonna grab that little knife on the side, and I'm gonna pierce it in the middle. Okay, and it's gonna look like almost like if I pierced and made like a mouth shape. Okay, then I'm going to set that to the side, and I'm going to pick up a piece of wire that I'm going to be using. Now, the majority of the wires, I think they measure, I think it was 11 inches. Let's see here. I think I show. Yes, I do. See, so it's approximately 11 inches. Some of them are going to be shorter. They're not all going to be the same size. So we're going to make 4 roses. Now, I'm going to only show you how I make one. Here I take the Gorilla Glue, dip the wire in there, and then I stick it in there and rub all that wood glue all around the bottom, and then set it to the side to let it dry, okay, while I start making the petals. Now, this is the fun part. We're going to take different sizes of balls, all right? Because we're going to make 4 sizes of petals. And there I take it, make a ball, and then I stretch it out almost like a wonky heart shape. That's how I figure. And that's one of the big pieces. And I think I make like two big pieces or 3. I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 I show you that I made. And then I go and do the medium one. Let's see here. Yeah, I did 3 of the big ones, and then now I'm doing the medium. You see how I got less yarn, less clay. All right, and there I do the heart shape just a little bit smaller. And you see how I got a hole in it? Don't worry about it. that just gives it texture, and it's really good. It makes the petal look even more real, because petals sometimes have thinness within them. Okay, so that's the medium shape that I take. And then we're going to do the tiny one. All right, now I'm going to make 4 of each, and I'll be right back. There we go. I'm back. Wow, magic of video. Isn't that cool? All right. This whole video took me, when I did the whole video, was like 79 minutes long. And I cut it down to 30 minutes. Okay, now here I'm taking the petals and I'm putting them, and you see how I'm overlapping parts, the beginning and the ending of each petal. And I start with the small petals, and then on the edges, I pull them a little bit down to pull them away from the center. Then, I'm sorry, I'm a little off camera. I keep going off camera because I want to pull the rose close to me. And I'm sorry that occurred. Okay. But I know I get better with it later. And there I put it. You see how I overlap it? And then I'm going to put all 4 petals like that. And I'm just pulling it back to open up the rose petals a little bit more, you see? And then I showed you how it looks. Then I start with the large ones. And that one, I practically almost bend it all the way back, like halfway back, and attach them to the edges. There you go. And there goes the next one and the last one. Okay, and I should be showing you what it looks like now. And I push up all the clay from the bottom so it stays like a little bit rounded. Okay, so we set it to the side and I grab the green. Now, on the bottom of the leaf from the bottom of the rose, there's like these little leaves from when it's a rosebud. So that's the part that we're doing right now. So I take a little piece, flatten it out, make it like a long teardrop kind of, okay, with a little bit of a rounded end, not so pointy. And then I bend it a little bit to give it a little shape like it's falling. And then I do 4 of those and I attach it. And there you go. We have the rose done. Wasn't that easy? It's really easy to make them. I just learned how to make them, so they're really cool. Now I get this green gardening wire, okay, and I snip off 2 pieces, one short and one longer, and I wrap them around to make like a fork, like a wonky fork here, okay, and then I bend them a little bit to give them a little bit of shape. And then I set that down. Now I'm grabbing some clay and we're going to make the leaves. So I'm going to roll it into a ball, flatten it out, make it into the shape of the egg and like the egg shape. And then just flatten it out nice and thin. And I'm going to make 3 of those, okay? And then you'll see, that they're pretty thin. You see how thin they are? You want to make them thin. You don't want them really thick because then they start drooping and get out of shape and it doesn't look nice at all. So you want to make them nice and thin, as you see how I had them right there. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim all around the edges, like cutting the roses. You know how the rose leaf petals have, like, it looks like they're cut all around the edges. So I did that, and there you go. You see me cutting them. Okay, and I'm speeding up the video there a little bit and I didn't cut it out so you could see how I do all 3 of them like that, and I do it all the way to the almost all the way around the bottom too. And you see how I keep on doing the edges and stuff. This is really important because when I attach them, I'm going to take the same paint that I dyed on the leaf. I'm going to put it on there. I mean, this was very, like, the rose was the easiest part of this whole DIY. it was really hard. Now you see how I put it on? I lay the wire on top, and then I squeeze it together a little bit so it attaches. And then I take the little point, the end, you see? And then I take the end of it. Once I get it all covered up a little bit there, I want that little indent because that's how the leaves are. And then I'm going to bend it a little bit, see? And give it the shape. Squeeze it together. There you go. And then I'm going to be getting the paint out. Now this one, I'm going to get the paint out. And I'm going to take a small little paintbrush. Oh, no. I didn't do that. I took the garden tape, and I'm wrapping it all around the wire. And I'm going up to the top, starting like midway, and then rolling up to the top, and then wrapping it thick right by the rose, and then I wrap back down to the halfway point. Okay? And then I'm going to add the wire there with the leaves. Okay? And then I'm going to wrap the bottom part of the wire to the wire from the rose itself, and I'm going to wrap it all the way to the end. Okay? I'm sorry I keep going out of camera there. Alrighty, so we're getting there to the end. Oops, I run out of tape. I'm sorry I'm out of camera there. But I think you guys know how to wrap the floral tape, to the wire. It's basically easy. The harder you pull, the better it is. Now you see I pulled out the paint again. And I'm going to get a small little paintbrush. Now I'm going to paint the leaves. Now, I'm sorry I'm out of camera with this. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with me? Okay, there you go. You see it a little bit there. You see how I'm dabbing the edges? Just dabbing the edges with a little bit of it. And then I go right down that middle line where the wire was. And I want some of the clay to show. So I'm like, all I'm doing is just like brushing a little bit of the paint to give it like some texture painting, to enhance it so it looks like a leaf. A leaf isn't just one color green, and it has a little bit of everything. And especially when they're starting to turn or die, they start changing colors. But that's basically what I did there. I'm sorry I'm off camera again. Having a lot of issues with my setup. I'm going to be changing my craft room around because my craft space is like really tight with right now where I craft at. And I think that's why I keep pulling whatever I'm doing closer to me. And there you go. You see all the roses that I made. I made 4 of them. There I had only 3, but I did 4. Okay. And there's the glass I'm going to use. It's a wine glass. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring it, the width of it, and then the height of it, because we're going to get some pink material here. And I'm measuring it, doing the measurements, the height and the width, which was 12 inches by 6 inches. And then I cut it out. Okay. And I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to turn on I turned on the iron because I want to press it a little bit and get those creases out. So while that gets hot, I'm going to clean the glass. So I use a little bit of Windex. I couldn't find my alcohol, and Windex is a glass cleaner, right? So I take my toothbrush there that I use for crafting and clean the inside. And then that's the corset that I'm going to be using, the corset, I forget how you say it. And I fussy cut it out, and I Mod Podge it to the front of the glass. And I had a lot of problems with Mod Podging this. It kept like wanting to lift up, and so I had to get cellophane, and really rub it in. I wasn't worried about the creases because it makes it more like realistic. Because when you wear your clothes, you have a little bit of creases and stuff like that, right? So it makes it look more real. So that's what I did. I Mod Podged it on, then I put some more Mod Podge over the top, and then I'm gonna set it to the side to dry. Now we go back to the material, and I pull out these little squares that I have that measured 6 by I think it was 5. Yeah, 6 by 5. And I'm gonna sew the top edge, the side, and the side edges. Yeah, and I sew them by hand. Believe me, that took me forever. I should get extra points just for that one, huh? And then I get my zipper out because we have to craft with the zipper, right? So I'm gonna cut a piece of the zipper, and you can do that. You can cut a piece, but so the zipper doesn't fall out when you bring it down, you want to sew the bottom, like to block it. You see that? And I'm going back and forth there, sewing the bottom of it. So when the zipper comes down, and I do that about like 5 times, I go around and around the zip part of the zipper, and just go around, go in through the front and out through the back, and then go back in on the other side, and then I knot it at the end and cut off the string. And then after that, like Kathy Joe says, and then I love her. She is wonderful. She's awesome. You gotta watch her. Uh, I bet her video is awesome today. She's such a great crafter, and so are the other girls that are on here today. So there, you saw I cut it to half the length of what it was. So it was like 3 inches. Okay. Then it was a little bit big, so I pleat the top, and then I hot glue it on the back right there so I could hold it in place while I pleat it. Okay, because I pleat it. I'm sorry I'm off camera and don't see it. You don't see it, but I pleated it, and oh, what a mess I have on the table there. I'm so sorry about that. And then I see that it's still a little bit baggy, still a little bit loose. I don't like the way it looks, but I start tacking it down around the edges of the corset, and pull it tighter. And then I also put on the top of the edge of the glass around the collar. I put some glue in there too to tack it down a little bit. And then now I'm gonna get my ribbon, I think. Yep, my lace ribbon. And what I'm gonna do here, I think I noticed this earlier. I think I was off camera and you didn't get to see this. But I used the glue gun to apply the lace. And I'm gonna go all around the collar edge. Okay. And I'm gonna lay it down, hold it, press it. You can kind of see it there, and you see how I folded it a little bit right there. You'll see. I think I show it that I fold it a little bit forward, and then I pull it back again, so it does like a little ruffle effect. You see, I'm putting glue for the next step, and then I'm gonna do the magic of video because I'm not gonna make you watch this whole thing. But I hold it down, and there I did the first little ruffle. So, and I think there is when I'm going to be changing it over, and I'm going to continue off camera. And then with the magic of video, I should be popping in again. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I guess I'm going to show you another ruffle. Well, try to show you because I'm like off camera. I am so sorry. If you want a tutorial on how to do ruffles on your materials, or just hit me up, leave me a comment, let me know that you would like to see that. and better, and better view. And I would gladly show you. I am going to be showing, I'm going to be having new tutorials too soon with crocheting. See there, I'm telling you that I'm going to go all the way around, and there you go. It's done. I did the ruffles and they're all done, you see. And yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to be doing crochet tutorial videos, and at the end of the tutorial video, I'm going to be showing you how to make something with what you just learned. Okay, so I think I'm going to be starting that, not my next video, but the next one after that. So maybe towards the end of the month. Now here, this is a lace and ribbon, like a satin ribbon, together, that I got from one of the dollar stores that sells all this like party supplies, like for you to make souvenirs for parties, like baby showers, wedding, bridal, showers and stuff like that, and wedding stuff. I mean, they have all kinds of stuff, but it's a dollar store. All right, here I'm taking my half beads. So there you go. There goes my the challenge item. And I'm taking one bigger pearly like half bead, and I'm putting it on. I'm gonna glue that to the one tip corner of my the collar, and the two other ones to the side of it. Here you'll see it better. You see I did the big one, then I put the little ones on there, and there you go, voila, and it's done. And there you are. And there's the vase. And here I go. And I put my roses in it. And we're all done. So here's the final review. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. I would have loved to have been able to do this before Mother's Day so I could have shared it with you guys so you had an idea. But this is sitting in my bedroom right now, right by my window. And I added some greenery from Dollar Tree, and those little pom pom things. They're from Dollar Tree. It's a flower of some sort. It's cute though. And there goes the little dress and stuff. So tell me what you think. Would you have done another color? Do you want to see more DIYs like this of me working with clay? Would you like to see me do crocheting and do a tutorial video afterwards? Let me know in the comments below, okay? And go check out the playlist. There's so many nice crafters, okay? So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and leave me the comment. Thank you for coming, and you have a blessed day.